Can we please stand to our feet and shall we pray? Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this morning. Thank you that this is a day that you have made. We are happy and rejoice in it. We commit this program into your hands. We invite your presence here. Lead the way. Help us complete it to your glory. In Jesus' name we pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Please take your seats. We want to now welcome the Deputy DG SEC for Legal, Deborah Ajimfra, Mrs. Deborah Ajimfra, to bring us some opening remarks. Let's welcome her with a round of applause.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Reverend Daniel Ugbamitete, I want to welcome you all to this morning's event. The minister is not here yet, but I would like to say that he's someone that we are warmly welcoming. And I see that the Honorable Deputy Minister Designate for Finance, Mr. John Kuma, is here. You are welcome, sir. Would also want to welcome other financial sector regulators, Bank of Ghana, represented by Mrs. Elsie Ado Awazi, the NIC, represented by Mr. Justice Ofori, the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, represented by Mr. Krofi. You are welcome, sir. There are other government agencies here that we want to acknowledge. The Registrar General, Madam Jemima Ware, is here. Mr. Samuel Boateng is here representing SIGA. You are also welcome. We want to go on to welcome the institutions that have given us a general support for this program. So we want to welcome the FCDO Country Director, Mr. Philip Smith, and then also the representative of the Country Director for the World Bank, Mr. Ahmed. You are welcome, sir. We also want to welcome our former commissioners, former board members, led by Dr. Yeboah. You are welcome, sir, and other commissioners. We'd also want to say that the hard-working team that has put this together, you are welcome. All past employees of the SEC, I see a former DG and former DDG, you are also welcome. And members of the GSIA, led by Mr. Alex Asidu, and other licensees of the SEC here represented, we welcome you all. Would also want to finally welcome the press who are here to carry this very important information across. And once again, we just want to say a warm welcome to you all. And we expect that at the end of this program, your questions on why we've brought you all here on a Monday morning will be answered. Once again, a warm welcome to you all.
Thank you very much, Deborah, for welcoming us. Ladies and gentlemen, a program like this naturally has many stakeholders. So beyond the distinguished people gathered here, we have people viewing us from all over the world. We're streaming live on the Facebook page of the SEC. We also have many interested parties joining us virtually. We can't have all the speeches here. So intermittently, we'll be breaking to take remarks from important stakeholders. So for the first round, we want to hear from some of our friends and partners in Nigeria and Mauritius who are joining us virtually to bring us greetings as we do this very important launch. So even though they are not here, please put your hands together as we zoom into the video to hear from our partners from abroad.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. By way of introduction, I am Vikash Thakur, the Chief Executive of the Financial Services Commission, Mauritius. Today, I am honored and privileged to share this endorsement video at the launch of the Capital Market Master Plan by our esteemed counterpart, the Securities and Exchange Commission, Ghana, SEC Ghana for short. I heartily congratulate SEC Ghana on this initiative. I can gauge the dedication and effort that has gone into this achievement. I recognize that this achievement is a result of the collaborative efforts between the Ministry of Finance, Ghana, the Securities and Exchange Commission, Ghana, and other stakeholders. I wish to encourage you to continue with that spirit of hard work to further the capital markets agenda on the continent. I therefore commend the SEC Ghana for coming up with this plan. You will all agree with me that this master plan is a vital tool to create more substance as well as capitalize on not only Ghana's but Africa's potential at large. That said, it gives us another opportunity as regulators of the financial markets to reflect on the consolidation of financial markets on the African continent with the development and sophistication of international financial centers. Capital markets is a dynamic sector characterized by changes in the global financial landscape. As such, this sector needs to adapt to latest regulatory changes in order to keep pace with international best practices. Nevertheless, markets are challenged in numerous ways, and investors need to remain cautious yet be willing to take risks in the search for better yield. The attention of capital markets drivers is focused on continuous regulatory changes, innovation in technology such as fintech, business transformation and market infrastructure. They are engaged in solidifying strategies to improve liquidity and growth in the markets so as to maintain investors' confidence. The regulators cannot remain silent observers and have to deliver at pace. In the recent years, the financial landscape has witnessed enormous changes, and the pace of change has been particularly rapid and has had major impact on markets, investors and issuers. We would all agree that the cascade of events have led to the global financial crisis, resulting in enormous losses of wealth worldwide. One of the lessons learned is that there is a strong need for continuous review of our financial architecture and a need to promote higher standards of market conduct to encourage efficient and well-functioning markets. This has been further emphasized following the unprecedented global pandemic. While SEC Ghana is today launching its master plan on capital markets, the FSC Mauritius has just recently brought several amendments to its rules under the Securities Act, the main piece of legislation governing capital markets in Mauritius. The amendments are already showing results with increased momentum in the capital market space. In this vein, we are contemplating a major overhaul of our Securities Act to position Mauritius as a capital market destination of choice. The Capital Market Master Plan, being launched today by our friends in Ghana, is indeed a comprehensive plan charting the strategic positioning and future direction of the Ghana capital market. It seeks to provide market participants with strategic clarity as to the vision and objectives of the capital market amid the changing marketplace. We have noted with interest that the master plan includes a set of actions to take Ghana to the next level in the financial services sector, and also to provide avenues for other market players in investment opportunities. Here, I am thinking of dual listing opportunities on our respective exchanges. For instance, the possibility for investment dealers to seek authorization to trade on the cross-border exchanges. This is going to be a win-win situation for both of our jurisdictions. In this respect, Mauritius has recently streamlined its rules to facilitate the authorization of investment dealers licensed in other jurisdictions. In the same line, we are currently witnessing a trend in respect of innovation, which has become one of the buzzwords. Innovation can take various forms, such as a new product, new business models and entrants, new trading strategies and venues, and new technologies. Financial innovation acts as a hallmark of a vibrant financial system. It should therefore be encouraged and facilitated where it has the potential to improve the efficiency of the markets or to bring useful products and new participants to the market. It is paramount that we as regulators develop means to share technological know-how between us. We do recognize that we are continuously exploring new mechanisms and offering additional innovative instruments to investors for them to diversify their portfolio of investments. There is currently greater competition between infrastructure providers to enable new market entrants with up-to-date technologies. This places greater demand on us as regulators to improve on our service standards and efficiency in processing regulatory requests. In terms of cooperation, the FSC Mauritius already has a bilateral memorandum of understanding with SEC Ghana. With this new master plan, I look forward for both regulators to further work together to collaborate in the areas of training and technical assistance required to facilitate the development of the regulatory framework for securities, futures, and other related investment products, both in Ghana and Mauritius. The FSC Mauritius and SEC Ghana have been active and trusted players in Africa, and we will continue to engage intensively at all levels to coordinate and look at detailed aspects of capital markets, regulation, and related market conduct issues. At the level of the IOSCO-AMERC, which is the Regional Committee for African and Middle East countries, we have a common platform and participate actively to share views and experiences with other jurisdictions. This is evidence of our legacy and evidence of our participation and objective to strike the right balance between promoting harmonized and coordinated standards across Africa and effectively supervising market infrastructure providers and markets that are usually delivered best locally. I will conclude here by congratulating again the SEC Ghana and wishing you all the best to materialize the different proposed initiatives and endeavors. I am sure that these incentives will be another gateway to open our jurisdiction to the rest of the world by using Africa as a platform and enhance our visibility as a continent. Thank you.
On behalf of the Securities and Exchange Commission Nigeria, I wish to felicitate with the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC Ghana on the launch of its maiden capital market master plan covering the period 2021 to 2030. We acknowledge the huge efforts of the SEC Ghana for its vision towards seeking to improve the efficiency and depth of the capital market and promoting a robust investment management industry in Ghana. The Capital Market Master Plan is designed to meet Ghana's need for increased diversified sources of long-term finance, enhance the regulatory framework, as well as boost capital market development. While I applaud the SEC Ghana for the launch of the Capital Market Master Plan, the development of a sequenced implementation process with defined objectives and performance benchmarks will be critical towards achieving the desired goals of the Capital Market Master Plan. Once again, congratulations for this great feat, and please accept our heartfelt felicitations from Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. And those were greetings from our partners from Mauritius and Nigeria. More on that later. We want to welcome our Finance Minister, Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta. He joined us while the first speech was going on. Welcome, sir. Please put your hands together for him. So it's interesting. The smaller country gave the longer speech. So Mauritius is not even the size of Tema. He spoke for almost 8 minutes. Nigeria spoke for 30 seconds. I don't know what it is, but DG will talk to his colleagues later. Now, believe it or not, what's happening here today started in the 2008 budget. And following that budget statement, a working group was put together which started working promptly. There were 13 people in that group. So what we're seeing here today is the fruit of over 2.5 years of work. We want to now bring up stage to give us some remarks the task or team lead for the Capital Markets Working Group. He's in the person of Mr. Richard Obobi. He has a few remarks to share with us. Please welcome him with a round of applause. These are remarks.
Remarks. Honorable Minister of Finance, Director General, Securities and Exchange Commission, Deputy Governor, stakeholders, MDs of universal banks, special guests, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. It was a privilege to have led the development of the first 10-year Capital Market Master Plan for Securities and Exchange Commission. The design process set us on course of analyzing and reviewing existing trends and projections in the domestic, regional, and international capital market. The process was consultative, engaging, with input from key actors, Ministry of Finance, Bank of Ghana, Securities and Exchange Commission, Ghana Stock Exchange, and presentations to the EMT. The design iteration process allowed us to harmonize contributions and feedback. We are confident that this has enriched the master plan and will strengthen our credibility in the global capital market space as we implement. The team reviewed capital market plans from countries such as Kenya, Malaysia, Mauritius, Singapore, and other emerging markets to ensure we create a critical bridge between suppliers of capital and users, and also become a driver for economic development and growth. The plan is expected to position Ghana's domestic market as a preferred choice for investors and issuers by creating diversity of investment products and liquidity, increasing investor base, strengthening infrastructure, and improving regulation, enforcement, and market confidence. It will leverage global best practices and align infrastructure to support market efficiency while concurrently facilitating the development of technology for the industry. The plan will also chart a course for mobilizing capital and enhancing investment to support economic growth. This was not only done by me, it was done by a team of 13 people, some of them seated here. And I want to extend my sincere gratitude to the World Bank team headed by Carlos, Sui, and Barbara Wiafe, the Director of Financial Sector Division, Samson Aklego, seated here as well, Reverend Ugbami Tete, Mr. Paul Abebiu, for their guidance and support, and our internal and external stakeholders who have contributed immensely to the development of this plan, as well as the Financial Sector Division led by Ms. Marian Mensah and the outstanding team of consultants, Mr. Atobant, Mr. Philip Delali Zumanu, and Matthew Sullivan, for spearheading the development of this plan. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those remarks. Coming up next is another round of virtual remarks from 4 very important institutions. So, Madam Elsie Awaji from BOG, Samson Akligo, Head of Financial Institutions. We also have GCX, Tucci, and GSC ECO. So, the good thing is that most of those people are here. So, if their speeches are getting long, we can cut them. So, let's see how it goes. I hope we made them very short. Quick virtual remarks. Please put your hands together for our next round of virtual remarks.
My name is Elsie Adu Awazi, Second Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana and the bank's representative on the board of the Securities and Exchange Commission. From its humble beginnings a little over 3 decades ago, Ghana's capital market has played a key role in the development of our economy. Like all financial markets, our capital market must continue to grow and evolve to meet the fast-changing needs of our economy. The Capital Market Master Plan, recently developed by the Securities and Exchange Commission with policy support from the Ministry of Finance, is designed to reposition our capital market to make it a viable source of medium and long-term capital for businesses and other economic actors who need such capital to be able to expand their business operations, and by that, to help to expand Ghana's economy. The Capital Market Master Plan is also designed to provide investors with more opportunities to invest and grow their money on a sustainable basis. So by and large, this master plan seeks to promote more financial inclusion, more sustainable economic development through the range of innovative financial products that will be available, as well as seeks to promote more financial integrity through the rules of engagement that will be put in place going forward. It is important that we all lend a hand to support this master plan. At the Bank of Ghana, we believe that this master plan will help to reposition the capital market as a key player of our economic transformation agenda going forward. We believe that a viable and more robust capital market is a necessary complement to a viable and robust banking sector, which we have been working on over the last few years. Together, the capital markets, the banking sector, the insurance and pensions sectors are needed so that Ghana's economic transformation agenda is fully funded. We at the Bank of Ghana, under the leadership of Governor Ernest Addison, pledge our continued cooperation with the Securities and Exchange Commission, as well as our support for the implementation of this master plan going forward. So on this occasion of the launch of the master plan, we say Ayiko, and we wish the Securities and Exchange Commission, as well as all players in the securities market, all the very best. Thank you.
My name is Samson Akligo, and I'm the Director for Financial Sector Division of the Ministry of Finance. The emphasis on the capital market, is something that globally we know the capacity of the capital market to enable economic transformation. And when you look at Ghana, we have made progress in developing our capital market over the years, but essentially the capital market remains very shallow, and the entire financial system unfortunately remains bank dominated. If you look at the data, you realize that if you take the asset management industry as a percentage of GDP, you see a very woeful figure of under 8%. And that sincerely is very unfortunate if you compare us to a lot of middle-income countries, and not to even mention countries like the United States and the Netherlands and and even the UK. This plan, quite frankly, is intended to quicken the space of capital market development. And if you see the journey and the progress we have made, I mean, for the first time, the government has recognized that we need a dedicated plan for the capital market. And therefore, we hope that this plan would be one of the key pillars that would facilitate that. The Ministry of Finance strongly endorses the capital market master plan. And really, the whole essence of developing our country remains the people, the goods and services, and the capital. And really working together as to make sure that we grow the capital market, the institutions, the investors, and ensure that there's transparency and appropriate governance is very important for the future of this country. And so thank you very much.
I'm Tuchi Ivoe. I'm the CEO of the Ghana Commodity Exchange. Capital markets are an extremely important avenue for businesses, for companies to raise funds. This is really important for a country's economy because without funds to boost business, there are a lack of jobs that are being created in the economy. When you look at developing economies, a lot of help is needed, and the advent of capital markets is one way to start to look at how we can boost a company's growth by really finding avenues for wealth creation, infrastructure development, and subsequently job security. The Ghana Commodity Exchange is actually very broad. We are a membership-based organization, and our members range from farmers, from smallholder farmers to commercial farmers, to brokerage firms, to large multinational companies, processors, manufacturing organizations. So really, you can say that we cater to everyone and anyone who has an interest in trading commodities, whether buying or selling commodities. So it really goes to show that the capital markets is not for a small or distinct group of people. Anyone can benefit from the capital markets. Planning is extremely important. There are activities in the capital market today going on, taking place. We have the Ghana Commodity Exchange, which is a capital market participant. You have the stock exchange and so many other capital market participants. If the capital markets, as with any industry or any business, is not well planned, people and organizations and structures will collapse. So it is really critical to have a well-developed capital markets plan. This will guide let's say, the development and the growth of the capital markets and subsequently, accelerate economic growth. The Securities and Exchange Commission under the Ministry of Finance has worked with a multi-stakeholder team to develop this capital markets, taking into account, the needs of the entire investing public. This is important because we're at different stages of development. You can say that a capital market exists in many markets in the world, but every market is different and we're at different stages. So the fact that this has been crafted with the Ghanaian investing public and potentially even outside investors, but looking at the interests of the Ghanaian market into account, it's extremely important. As a GCX representative, I'm really excited that this plan has been developed because it charts a clear path for the developments of the market, capital markets in Ghana. I don't think it could have come at a better time. We're poised for growth. We have the public, let's say the Ghanaian public understanding where the country wants to go. And we have the international public showing a lot of interest in Ghana. So it's really important that we have this at this time. The Ghana Commodity Exchange embraces the capital markets master plan, and we believe all Ghanaians should embrace the plan, because it's really done with a view to strengthening the market. Anything that is not well planned will go wrong. When we're talking about investments, when we're talking about job security, when we're talking about people's livelihoods and potential savings, you cannot do it well if it's not well planned out. And this Capital Markets Master Plan was worked with a whole array of stakeholders. It's really taken into account Ghanaian needs. It's not an overnight job. It's been done over the last few years. It's been benchmarked as well against other nations, and it's really been designed to further Ghana's economic growth. So we should all embrace it, and I'm really excited to be part of this.
My name is Eko Afezi. I'm the Managing Director of Ghana Stock Exchange. And I've worked here for 30 years since the inception of the exchange. So I've seen all the developments in the capital market. Capital markets are very important when it comes to the development of any economy. They tend to be key drivers of how the economy develops. The reason why capital markets are very important in the development of any economy is the role they play. Two key roles. One is the raising of long-term capital. So they facilitate the mobilization of long-term capital. And once companies can have access to long-term capital, they can expand, they can improve their operations, and they can employ more people, and that will generally lead to more goods and services, and you have people getting more money into their pockets, and also you find the economy developing. Governments can also utilize capital markets to raise long-term capital by way of bond issues for specific projects. They can do a 10-year bond issue, a 20-year bond issue for infrastructural development. So you go all over the world, you find corporate entities or corporate bodies and the government utilizing the capital market to raise long-term capital for development of their economies. The capital market at the same time provides liquidity for those who have purchased, let's say, securities and giving out money in terms of by way of equities or shares, and also by the way of bonds. So stock markets, for instance, are created to create platforms for the trading of shares and other securities that are being issued. So that is the role capital market plays in every jurisdiction or every economy. The reason why I introduced myself and said I've worked in the industry for 30 years is the fact that this is the first time that we are having such a plan for the industry. We've never had it since 1990 when the stock exchange was established, which led to the development of the capital market as a whole. So it's important that it's coming on at this time, so it's timely, and to help develop the entire capital market to a very great extent. When you look at the vision of the plan, which is to deepen, create efficient and well-diversified capital markets with a full range of products attractive to domestic and international investors, that is key for the development of this economy. And it's going to focus on pillars such as creating diversity of investment products and liquidity of securities markets, increasing the investor base, strengthening infrastructure, and improving market services, improving regulation, enforcement, and market confidence. All these will lead to the development of the capital market and also the development of the economy as a whole. The Ghana Stock Exchange endorses the development and implementation of the Capital Market Master Plan. We endorse it because of the fact that we really need this plan in order to develop the capital market in Ghana, which eventually will also lead to some growth in the economy of Ghana. As an exchange, as on behalf of the management and the Council of the Exchange, to fully endorse this capital market master plan.
I guess you're applauding because you like the speeches. Please put your hands together for them one more time. This is the launch of the Ghana Capital Markets Plan. We're live on Facebook. If you're watching us, please click the like button and share. This is not an event for technical people hidden in a hotel. It's for the whole country. It's going to open up the economy. Like the video, share on your platforms, and let's get people excited about our capital markets. Our next speaker will be representing the World Bank Country Director. In his own right, is the lead for public sector. He's a public sector specialist with the World Bank. He is Fukan Ahmad Salim. Please welcome him with a round of applause. It's a rather long walk, so please just be a bit more generous. Thank you so much.
Honorable Ken Ofori Atta, Minister of Finance, Reverend Daniel Ogbamitete, Director General, Securities Exchange Commission, Mr. Philip Smith, Country Director, FCDO. Honorable Minister for Finance, Director General of Securities and Exchange Commission, Country Director of Foreign FCDO, distinguished guests, the media, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin by expressing my gratitude for the Securities and Exchange Commission for inviting me to make remarks at this important event. I commend the SEC and Ministry of Finance for leading the development of the Capital Market Master Plan through a participatory process which included consultations with market operators and other stakeholders. As one of the stakeholders, we appreciate the opportunity that the SEC and the Ministry of Finance has given us and our FCDO colleagues to contribute with financial resources and technical expertise to the development of this Capital Market Master Plan. Many thanks to Philips and FCDO for their generous financial contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's financial sector is still dominated by banks, and the overall intermediation is low. Credit to GDP is only about 12%, and is one of the lowest among peer countries such as Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, and Kenya. Long-term finance is particularly limited, and this prevents Ghanaian enterprises from pursuing long-term investments that can increase productivity and create quality jobs. As recognized by the master plan, the capital market can contribute to the diversification of the financial sector and to increased availability of long-term finance. It can channel growing savings in Ghana, pension schemes, and life insurance companies to long-term investments across sectors, including infrastructure and housing. It can also attract foreign capital, particularly as the continent embarks in an ambitious regional integration agenda. However, the capital market will need to overcome many challenges, including high levels of interest rates that discourage the issuance of corporate bonds, high transaction costs that discourage listing in the Ghana Stock Exchange, limited investor base, and low market confidence. Mainly after the recent revocation of licenses of 50 funds management companies, lack of ratings of financial instruments, and limited market capacity. I'm pleased to see that Master Plan outlines clear reforms and initiatives to address some of the challenges I just listed. Let me highlight the introduction of wholesale corporate bonds for qualified investors and simplification of documentation for bond issuance, the restructuring and promotion of collective investment schemes, the establishment of a domestic credit rating agency and an investor protection fund, and the strengthening of the legal and supervisory framework, to just name a few. I would like to emphasize the importance of strengthening the supervisory framework for the capital markets. As we all learned with the recent failure of 50 fund management companies, excessive risk-taking needs to be curtailed through effective oversight that prevents widespread failures and negative impact on the market confidence and public finances. In this context, I welcome Master Plan's call to improve the legal framework and supervisory capacity, including giving SEC stronger powers and tools to resolve failing market operators, as well as more resources to oversee the market. I would like to note that World Bank is partnering with the government of Ghana to support the implementation of the Capital Master Plan. The Financial Sector Development Project, $30 million, approved in 2018, allocated $3 million for the establishment of a domestic credit rating agency. As a partnership between Ministry of Finance and the private sector, the business plan is being finalized. In addition, the development finance project of $250 million approved in October of last year embarked $6 million for the overall of the legal and regulatory framework for the capital market and for the capacity building of SEC and market operators. The development finance project also provides $225 million to the new development bank, Ghana, DBG. The DBG will use this financing to provide wholesale lines of credit and partial credit guarantees to financial institutions to lend to SMEs and small corporates. To conclude, I believe that the master plan charts a clear path for emergence of a vibrant capital market in Ghana, capable of contributing to economic transformation. I wish good luck to Securities and Exchange Commission, Ministry of Finance, market operators, and all stakeholders as they embark in the implementation of the plan. I look forward to an invitation 3 to 4 years from now to celebrate progress in the implementation. Thank you very much, ladies and colleagues.
Thank you very much, sir, for that speech. This is still the launch of the Ghana Capital Market Master Plan, and we just heard from the rep from the World Bank. We want to now hear from the representative of the FCDO. For those of you who don't know, this used to be known as DFID. I think at some point they were also called UK Aid. Now they are the FCDO. Mr. Philip Smith will bring us some greetings. Please welcome him with a round of applause.
Honourable Minister, Honourable Deputy Minister, Director General for the Securities and Exchange Commission, Deputy Governor, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm delighted to be here in person this morning, and thanks, Bernard, for explaining what on earth the FCDO is, this new acronym that we've foisted upon you. I'm from the UK government, formerly DFID, and now part of the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. Many thanks to the Honourable Minister and Director General Tete for allowing me the opportunity to say a few brief words on behalf of the UK government. The UK is very proud to have supported the development of Ghana's 10-year capital market master plan. I know that this is the culmination of many months and years of hard work, and I'd like to give a special mention to all the staff in the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Ministry of Finance have made this a reality. Alongside UK financial support to the master plan, the UK, through DFID and now through the Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, has had a long-standing partnership with the Ministry of Finance, the SEC, and the Bank of Ghana. This relationship continues to evolve, but key milestones, such as today, demonstrate the tangible benefits that have come from this partnership. Let me also take this opportunity to thank the World Bank, through whom this UK support has been delivered. Honourable Minister, the Capital Markets Master Plan has the potential to unlock investment and accelerate progress in deepening Ghana's financial sector. We all know that without a strong and vibrant financial sector that is attracting investment nationally, regionally, and internationally, Ghana will struggle to meet its objectives of moving beyond aid. The launch of this master plan is timely, as the IMF noted in their recent regional economic outlook for Africa. The current economic outlook across the continent is subject to greater than unusual uncertainty as countries navigate their economies out of the pandemic. This master plan will serve as one of the key guiding documents to put Ghana back on its pre-pandemic positive economic trajectory. And now, of course, is where the hard work actually starts. The master plan contains the necessary building blocks to develop Ghana's financial markets, to the point where it's the market of choice for a broad range of investors in West Africa, where it's well integrated into the global financial system, and where it's fully contributing to Ghana's economic and development goals. Successful implementation will require intensive efforts, not just by the SEC and the Ministry of Finance, but also by all interested stakeholders, including development partners. Honourable Minister, the UK stands ready to support Ghana in this implementation. Being home to the City of London, one of the most important financial centres in the world, the UK understands better than most the immense value of a strong, well-regulated financial market. The UK government can and will support the implementation of the Capital Markets Master Plan directly through our financial sector deepening programme, but we can also play a role in linking Ghana and linking the financial sector players to key UK counterparts such as the London Stock Exchange and potential UK investors. So let me finish by joining the multitude of voices we've heard this morning in wishing you luck in the implementation of this landmark plan. We look forward to continuing to grow the UK-Ghana partnership. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. We appreciate your support. We now want to listen to two important presentations. Any part of a strategy includes two components. Where are we? Where do we want to go? So we will hear from the DG, where are we? And of course, there will be some bits added by his deputy in terms of the master plan and where we want to go. But we want to just give you a quick video before we bring up the DG to give us his presentation. And this one will be short, trust me. Please welcome the video with an expectant round of applause. Very short one.
My name is Alex Asiedu. I work with Stanbic Investment Management Services. It's the investment arm of the Stanbic Bank Group in Ghana. Besides that, I serve as the president of the Ghana Securities Industry Association, and that's the umbrella body for capital market operators in Ghana. What's the capital market? The capital market is a market that brings together suppliers and those who are demanding, those who are looking for long-term capital. And so it provides funding for entities or people who want to do long-term stuff through shares, bonds, etc. That in a nutshell is what the capital market is about. You would admit that one of the key factors behind constrained economic growth, especially in our part of the world, is the lack of capital. There are other issues, but the lack of capital is one of the core constraints. And so what the capital market does is that it removes the 100% alignment with bank finance. The banks can't do everything. What the capital market does is that it makes available long-term deep pools of cash or funding for people who want to take a risk and access capital that is for more than short periods of time. And so for countries like ours, given that that's what we need, the capital market is helpful towards making us get towards positive development outcomes. Areas like infrastructure, etc. I'm not sure there's anywhere in the world that wouldn't want a plan, especially a plan like the capital market plan, because what it does is that it gives us guidelines, it gives us goalposts that help us to achieve our capital market objectives and then help us to achieve our broader economic development objectives. And so it's deeply useful. I think that all countries that have attain certain levels of economic development and growth have had capital market plans. So it's very useful. It's not before time for us. Yes, we shouldn't just welcome it. We should embrace it. And beyond embracing it, we should make sure that this time it's not just talk. We are walking the talk. That's the only way we can translate the plan into action and into the outcomes that we require for the economy.
So that was Alex Asiedu. Is it me or the men, their voices sound a bit deeper? When I heard Samson Akligo, I thought I was listening to the finance minister. And if you work with him for a long time, you start talking like him. So, John, be careful. You start talking cool, deep voice. Fantastic. Now, before we get to other presentations, we have two very important things. As we said, where have we come from? Where are we? Where do we want to go? It's my pleasure to invite the Director General of the SEC, Reverend Daniel Ugba-Amitete, to take us through a presentation on the SEC.
Honorable Finance Minister, Honorable Deputy Finance Minister Designate, Country Director of FCDO, the representative of the World Bank Country Director, Second Deputy Governor, Director General of SIGA, my peers, CEO of NPRA, Commissioner of NIC, and all wonderful invited guests, I'd like to say you're warmly welcome. And my job here is to paint an aspirational picture of what we expect the Capital Market Master Plan to deliver. So I will start. This refers to our vision and our mission, and then the values that we believe will do the trick in terms of enabling us to achieve our vision. So the vision is to be a top-tier securities market regulator in Africa. Our mission to regulate, innovate, and promote the growth and development of an efficient, fair, and transparent market in which investors and the integrity of the markets are protected. And we have our core values listed here. In terms of what we do, two main planks: protection of investors, protection of the integrity of the market, and we use a number of tools in our toolkit, from monitoring the solvency, managing the licensing regime, ensuring surveillance, and our supervision. We do a number of things to ensure protection of investors and then the integrity of the market. Another important aspect of what we do is developing the market, and that's why we are really here. We're talking about the Capital Market Master Plan. So 10 years from the start of the implementation of this plan, what can we see? I'm going to show you some pictures. I'm making my presentation quite light. I'll be inviting my deputy, one of my deputies, to get into some specifics of the plan. But a decade on, can this be the look of the Accra Business District? Can this be how Accra Mall will look like? A decade from now, the Accra-Kumasi Expressway, can it look like this? Those who travel to Cape Coast know the challenge on the Kasua-Buram portion. 10 years from now, is it possible for the Kasua-Winneba Highway to look something like this? Can we say that in 10 years we'll have a railway station, that looks anything like this? Or the Kakum National Park, can it look something like this? We know about the Nsawam Cannery 10 years from now, and it can stand for the very many manufacturing plants that we have. 10 years from now, can this be how it looks? Kolebu Teaching Hospital, which is the key medical center we have here, 10 years from now, can the infrastructure there look anything like this? Swami Magazine, 10 years, is it possible? KJTL Market, is it possible? So these are images. And then Kole Lagoon. So the question we are asking is, of course, these are images from different places, but we are saying that, can the capital market release the capital that would assist in transforming the economy of Ghana? And we believe that the answer is yes. And it's, if you have a robust, deep, diversified capital market, we know this can't be possible. So the question I'm asking here is, has the capital market been used by other countries, other economies to achieve a transformation? And I'm going to use the example of a country, the example of Malaysia. I'm using Malaysia because we are classmates. We belong to the class of 1957 when we both achieved independence. We will look at what has happened in the case of Malaysia. They had their first capital market master plan, a 10-year plan. In 2000, it was implemented for a 10-year period, and then they came up with a second CMP2, their second capital market master plan from 2011 upward. So these are, again, some images that we've picked from Malaysia. So the same, so we are showing you what it looked like in 2002. The Menara Tower, how it looked like in 2002, and then how in 2020 it looks like. Still, this is the Menara Tower from another angle, showing a transformation within the period that the implementation of the capital market master plan that they had took place. This again shows you an image of a railway station back in the day and what they have now. Just trying to paint a picture of transformation. Then this slide gives a bit more of numbers. It shows you, if you take the equity market in 2000, how the growth has moved from $107 billion to over $300 billion. If you take the equity market, if you take the bond market, if you take the Islamic capital market, 2000, and then this is even just the first 10 years. But this is just showcasing the fact that a capital market master plan, well-crafted, well-executed, can indeed assist in transformation. This is because we believe that the capital market creates that bridge between suppliers and users of capital. The capital market, well-developed, provides a platform to elicit savings and investment, which is an important trigger for economic development. A well-run, well-regulated capital market also facilitates efficient allocation of the scarce financial resources. It ensures the deployment of patient capital that would enhance the productive capacity of any economy, and effectively it accelerates the growth of the economy. And so we are saying that if other economies have been able to come up with plans for their capital market, executed them, and they've seen some transformation, we say that, yes, we can. In Ghana, we believe that a deep, efficient, diversified, and well-regulated market with a full range of products, which is couched from the theme of the Capital Market Master Plan, can play a significant role in solving, for instance, if you look at the serious deficits we have in our infrastructure, whether you're looking at health infrastructure, education, transportation, and so on and so forth, the capital is required, and a well-developed capital market can provide the patient capital for that. We also believe that in terms of strengthening the productive capacity of the economy, our president has talked about Ghana beyond aid, and it means we are in the position where we have something to trade rather than going for aid, but the capacity has to be there. We all know about the CTA that has, it kicked off. We have the Secretariat here in Ghana. The opportunity is there. I remember one of the quotes from my, business policy lecturer back in the day. He said, I think it was from Christensen, that opportunity without competence is a sure path to fairyland. In other words, if the opportunity is there, the capacity or the competence has to be there. And we believe that a deep, efficient, diversified, well-regulated capital market would do that and will help Ghana, to move forward. And we've seen other markets that have used the capital market to that. We also know that a strong domestic capital market will give confidence to capital and attract global capital flows. And we also believe that innovation will thrive in a well-regulated market. And that's why we believe that the Capital Market Master Plan has come at the right time, and we are committed to ensuring that Ghana benefits from the capacity of this plan to fuel the transformation of our economy. And I invite one of my deputies to give us some highlights of the Capital Market Master Plan. So Paul Abebi, if you can come and then take us through the highlights of the plan. Thank you.
Okay. Do I take it over? In the interest of time, all protocols observed. I will take the opportunity to walk us briefly through the highlights. The document will be launched shortly by Honorable Minister, and copies will be available on our website. It would not be an oversight if I seem to go a bit fast, so please forgive. Our Director General mentioned some of the expected outcomes. One is increase of products. We want to have additional products. We've drafted a 10-year plan. However, a lot of our targets are in the next 5 years. So if you notice, the work plan is really to achieve a substantive portion of it in 5 years, and then the remaining period would be used to clean up and deepen it. As you look at the Malaysia example, certain long-term changes take time to embed. You have to build capacity, you have to deepen it, and once you've launched an initiative, you go in to grow in it from that perspective. In terms of flagship initiatives that would come out of the plan, we see demutualization of the GSC and strengthening of it. We look at collective investment schemes. We're talking about market makers. Currency trading is now becoming a big part of our economy. Investor education is important to us. And then securities lending, because again, you need deepened liquidity pools. And then we also talk about the commodities on the Ghana Commodity Exchange. A lot of capital markets focus on national strengths. Where are our competencies as a country? And can investors get access to those competencies? So we talk about agriculture, we talk about gold, we talk about minerals and infrastructure. And Ghana is actually a trade hub. How does an investor get exposure to some of these competitive factors of our economy? And so focusing on some of these areas is a key outcome. There are 4 main pillars of the master plan, and I think we've talked about it briefly, but we've mapped it out to national priorities as well. So as a country, we have a view to increase the value chain in manufacturing. And so pillar 1, when we have more products that cater to our economic competencies, that gives us access to, 1, have more agricultural businesses exposed, and then manufacturing can also issue products that support the sector. We talk about the investor base, so again, strengthen the rule of law. And then we have pillar 3, which is infrastructure, and that also maps to the sustainable development goals. So not only are we looking at the capital markets, we're looking at national priorities, and we also look at global priorities. So Ghana within the context of the world, and how the capital market plays a role in advancing the connectivity, and achieving global goals that are agreed upon. So I think I'll pass through this briefly, but these are the main outcomes of the plan. We expect a strong and well-regulated market. We expect that as a channel for financing, we will have venture capital play a pivotal role in deepening the long-term capital. Insurance and pension funds are also key to this part, so that we strengthen the value chain of startups growing into medium or small enterprises, and then subsequently taking advantage of the regional location of Ghana, the AFCA, to also become regional champions out of that. In the same way, we also expect that financial players in our market will also strengthen their capacity and build regional capacity. And as you heard from our colleague in Mauritius, there is a move for cross-border trading. I mean, when you go to London or Netherlands, it's not just stocks in Netherlands that are trading, it's stocks all across Europe. So Ghana can also be that center where you have cross-border transactions happening between us and Nigeria, us and Cote d'Ivoire, us and Mauritius. In terms of actual figures, what are our expectations? We used our baseline of 2018, where we expected to have about 2 billion. 2024, we are looking at about 6 billion in amounts raised, and by 2029, we're looking at about 15 billion in amounts raised. We also expect that in the turnover, 2018, we had about 44%. We're looking at 55% in the year 2024, and that by 2029, 70%. And then market capitalization as a percent of GDP. Again, stock market actually represents the economy, not just the banking sector. So we're looking at moving from 20% to approximately 50% by 2029. Obviously, GDP will also be expanding in this period, so we're a bit measured in that expectation. If you look at these targets, it's not just the Securities and Exchange Commission that will have to achieve them. It relies on the market, it relies on investment advisors bringing transactions, it relies on consultants giving advice and helping with structuring and bringing the markets together. So it requires a whole of country approach to implementation. We're also looking at bringing in the broader investor. So currently, active CSD accounts are about 971,000. With the bailout schemes going on and the issuance of various government bonds, we're hoping that we can get to 2 million by 2024. Looking at our current population of 30 million is actually a small portion of the population, but it also means that you are introducing people to formal investment vehicles when you deepen the range of direct ownership of securities. Just as people want to own their homes, they should also own their investment accounts. We expect that to grow to also 4 million by 2024. And then those who are investing, currently the participation rate is around 1.7%. To avoid double counting, we didn't count the direct brokerage accounts because the mutual funds will also have exposure to the CSD. So we are at 1.7% now. We're hoping to get to 11%. So clearly our work is cut out for us. A lot of education needs to be done to drive this, some of which we've already started. I've talked about the pillars in brief. Some of the key initiatives we expect to undertake within these pillars. One is a taxation regime. How do we make it attractive? How do we bring products that give advantage? We look at the government bond market. In most markets, the bond market or the government securities are the baseline. How does the regular investor get access to that? And can we accelerate that exposure? Can we allow for digital platforms where people can get access directly? The market liquidity, enhancing credit rating agencies, and ensuring that securities are rated and publicly available for investors to make decisions. On the investor-based side, we talk about collective investment schemes. A big part of it is also marketing the capital markets. Government market is bonds and markets the whole economy. But the market itself as a venue, as a platform for transactions, also needs to be marketed. So not only do you have a deeper local investor base, but globally as well, you have a greater perception or positive view of Ghana's markets. This also helps to, one, make us an attractive destination for local investments, and hopefully also result in a reduction in the premium or the risk perception that is applied to Ghana. And then on the infrastructure part, I've talked about the GSE, but continuous professional education is critical. Not only do you just take the first course to enter the market, but you strengthen ongoing development, new topics that we come out with, derivatives, securities lending and borrowing. We build capacity and ensure that market operators are carried along in this element. On the regulatory and enforcement regime, we are looking at an overhaul of the regulatory regime, but we're also looking at cleaning up the market, which has already been done. There's the remaining work to do to finish up on that. And then also corporate governance. Having a stronger corporate governance regime is important. Just last year, we launched our new licensing regime and a corporate code of conduct for market operators. So some elements of the plan are already in motion. In terms of governance, we expect that we have a two-phase framework, three phases, sorry. Phase one is making the markets attractive. Phase two is really increasing the competitiveness. So ensuring that you have more firms coming out to list. And then phase three would be consolidating the gains that have been made during this period. Every 3 years, we also have a full review of the plan to ensure that we are tracking accordingly. So Minister of Finance, who is present, will be the champion of the plan. We'll have a steering committee consisting of eminent leaders in the regulatory regime and also from the markets. We'll have an industry review committee that will meet periodically, and that more or less assesses the impact of the implementation. We'll have a secretariat that will oversee the day-to-day functioning, and then we'll have working groups that will consist of aggregations of regulators, market operators, and selected real sector participants as well to support in the implementation of the initiative. So with that, this is the highlight of it, and I will hand over back to Bernard to continue with the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. It's great to have a DG who trusts in you to yield the stage for you to do the more complicated bits. So let's put hands together for DG as well. Thank you so much. Before the keynote address, we'll take our final video. This is final video. A few more important agencies who are collaborators have also endorsed what we're doing. It's important for the master plan for all of them to be heard as part of where we're going. So let's receive the final video, and then we'll hear from our keynote speaker. Please put your hands together as we receive that video.
My name is Hayford Atta Krufi. I'm the CEO of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. The capital market is certainly a tool for capital formation for the economic development of our nation. It is a channel for mobilization of savings and productive investment for the development of commerce and industry. So it's very, very important for the economic development of our country. Certainly, we regulate the pensions industry. So the corporate trustees who are responsible for regulating the pension schemes in terms of operation, they are the ones who have to take advantage of the investment guidelines that we have put in place. And therefore, the capital market is one avenue for them that they can also take advantage of. Any initiative that helps to drive the development of equity-backed securities in our country is very, very important, because essentially it is one of the areas that will unleash the economic potentials of our country. And certainly in the area of pensions, we want pension fund investment to go into the areas or the sectors of the economy that will help with the economic development. So it is very, very important for us. Definitely, we in MPRA very much encourage the Capital Market Master Plan, and we recommend it very, very strongly to our industry, the industry players, the fund managers, and then the corporate trustees to embrace this master plan, because that is going to drive the development of the capital market. And even beyond the pensions industry, it's something that all Ghanaians should embrace, because every Ghanaian who is investment minded will need to take advantage of this master plan so that they can invest in equity-based investment securities in our country.
I'm Philip Smith, Development Director for the UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office here in Ghana. The UK has been proud to support the development of Ghana's Capital Markets Master Plan, and this event marks an important moment in the development of Ghana's financial sector and in Ghana's mission to accelerate its growth and development. The UK has benefited enormously from a world-class, well-regulated capital market in the City of London. And we know better than most that a strong capital market is crucial in terms of attracting the right kind of investment and business. I'm delighted, therefore, to endorse Ghana's Capital Markets Master Plan on behalf of the UK, and I look forward to working closely with our Ghanaian counterparts on its implementation.
So my name is Yao A. Abalo. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Central Securities Depository Ghana Limited. I see the Capital Market Master Plan as a roadmap for the attainment of the objectives of our capital market, designed to unleash the potential benefits that we can derive from a strong capital market. I could cite two of the objectives of the master plan in that direction. First, the expansion of the investor base, and this to be attained through strong and effective, efficient supervision and regulation of the capital markets. Also through investor education and an empowered investor base. And finally, through an expanded array of investment products and avenues. A second main objective is to work with issuers and all stakeholders so they can take or have easy access to the potential of the capital market, especially long-term capital finance. The depository identifies strongly with the objectives of the Capital Markets Master Plan. Our own strategic pillars, service excellence, business diversification, and strategic alliances are in complete alignment with the objectives of the plan. And in that regard, we pledge our complete support, full support to the Commission in the execution and attainment of the objectives of the plan. And we have no doubt that the plan, the objectives, will be very effective and good for the capital market in Ghana.
My name is Richard Obobi. I'm the Managing Consultant for Impact Risk Analytics, a risk and transaction advisory-based firm in Nairobi, Kenya. I happen also to be the chair of the Capital Markets Working Group for the development of the Capital Markets Master Plan. Capital Market is a network of specialized financial institutions that, with a series of, I'll say, mechanism, processes, systems that work to facilitate movement of capital, both long-term and short-term. It also connects the monetary sector to the real sector. That is one that is able to support production of goods and services. Well, the capital market has a lot of participants in there. So you have those who provide money and then those who use money in simple terms. You have brokers who facilitate trade. You have the technology guys who provide a platform. You have investors who invest in instruments. And then you have also those who also develop instruments for access by other people. The capital market is for anyone looking at one, investing, and also participating in the financial economy. Money flows, money moves from holders of money to those who need money. So the capital market serves as that bridge, where not only through the financial institutions, but it also provides a platform for those who want to participate in building businesses, to also give companies that money now, and then in return, they are paid for the use of the money. That is called dividends. For a country as well, government can also borrow through the capital market for infrastructure investments. When you look at the capital market master plan, it has plans to do infrastructure bonds, green bonds, municipal bonds. The capital market will serve as that medium. So say government wants to do municipal bonds for Tamale, they can issue that through the capital market, and then I can participate by putting my money in. That goes also to government as well. Ghanaians should embrace the capital market master plan because it provides a 10-year blueprint to deepen our market, increase our investor base, provide robust infrastructure to support what we want to do. In there are also many flagship initiatives, about 12 of them, including providing money markets, currency trading platforms, security borrowing and lending, and many other initiatives, which will help this market develop and grow.
Thank you very much for your endorsement messages. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now my pleasure to invite our keynote speaker, a man who spent most of his life developing this market, first in a private capacity, now in the public sphere. He is in the person of Honorable Ken Oforiatta, Minister of Finance and Economic Planning. Please welcome him with a round of applause. As he comes to perform a dual role, he will bring us the keynote speech, and then he will officially launch the plan as well. You can do better. Please put your hands together.
Bernard, thank you very much indeed. And it's really great to be here. So members of Parliament here present, Executive Management of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Country Director of the World Bank represented, Country Director of the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, formerly DFID, executives of the other financial sector regulators here present, NIC, MPRA, Bank of Ghana, it's good to have you here. Executive of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Ghana Fixed Income Market, Ghana Commodities Exchange, members of the Working Group of the Capital Markets Market Plan, Governing Council of the Ghana Securities Industry Association, industry practitioners, members of the media community, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure Bernard will like this. The God of heaven will prosper us. Therefore, we, his servants, will arise and build our nation. Indeed, God's words are true and trustworthy, and all of us who trust in him shall never be put to shame, and will succeed with this plan. It is truly joy to behold all of us gathered here this morning. I am honored and indeed grateful for the opportunity to address this most distinguished gathering and to launch this landmark plan. For us as a government, a right-to-center government, the financial stability of the country and facilitating property ownership in a socially mobile and skilled society is fundamental to what we do. And these take time and courage. And I think these 4 years have seen us tackling very difficult issues, putting, therefore, policy beyond politics at a cost, but that is good for the nation. I want to start by thanking the UK's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office for the support you gave us through the World Bank and the Capital Markets Group established by my ministry, SEC, and the World Bank for their immense contribution in the run-up to this event. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in compelling times. Never in our history has the spotlight been placed so firmly on reducing economic inequality and the extension of opportunity. At the global level, for example, we have 1.5 odd billion doses of vaccines being deployed, and Africa has 20 million vaccines being deployed. A recent declaration of special drawing rights of $650 billion, Africa gets 5% of that, 33 billion. We have advocated for 25 to 30%. $700 billion of debt on the continent and over 13 trillion of stimulus and QE resources were deployed in the past 15 months by the G7 and G20 countries. Africa's debt during this pandemic has moved from 52% to 70%, bringing the issue of debt sustainability into question. So we have these inequities that we must find a way to bridge it. And this is where the capital market plan is going to be important to bridge this gap. Indeed, domestically, recently we have gone through Fix the Country hashtag on social media, which demonstrated the inequities and the country's demand for a faster resolution of things that are really structural and global. The key challenge for all governments is to remedy deficient social outcomes and deliver greater stability and prosperity for all citizens, knowing very well that it's not a band-aid fix. It's going to take a while, but we must be hopeful. Since 2017, the government's central objective has been to create economic freedom by establishing a Ghana where hard work, creativity, and enterprise pays, a country where you'll be rewarded on merit, and a country where every person can hope, aspire, and reach his or her fullest potential. It is a long road, an odyssey, but if we keep our eyes on the price of micro-stability and inclusive growth to create decent jobs, we will get there. A sound and macroeconomic framework was a necessary and sufficient task to achieve the central objective. Therefore, our successive budgets have sought to promote competition, innovation, and the enterprise economy whilst upholding our commitment to investing in people's potential. Senior high school. Achieving these objectives demand the courage to push forward tough but necessary reforms. However difficult the decisions we have had to make, the country will never have forgiven us if we had lurched from one opportunistic policy to another without addressing the fundamental weaknesses in our economy. Policy over politics, a fine line, but necessary for good governance. This commitment to reform, underpinned by a belief in social justice and mobility, economic dynamism and enterprise, is a reason why we now have a more equitable country, improved Gini coefficient, with a strengthened financial sector. Over 1.7 million farmers benefit from Planting for Food and Jobs, 1.2 million students benefiting from free senior high school, 76 factories in operation under 1D1F, 97 graduate beneficiaries of NAPCO, 3.3 million beneficiaries under the Ghana Food school feeding program. Of course, the all too easy but fundamentally wrong temptation is to cling to these achievements and sidestep making more difficult long-term choices. The essential task of this second term in government is to use the 100 billion Ghana Cares Obatampa program to implement a broad development strategy that effectively transitions our country away from colonial dependence on foreign goods, services, and capital towards the realization of a modernized, competitive, and resilient economy where the dividends of growth are redistributed to the working poor to break the cycle of poverty. In truth, we will work in partnership with the service sector and you, our development partners, over the next year to examine and begin the task of dismantling every barrier to productivity, prosperity, and employment creation. The launch of the Capital Market Master Plan presents one of these pillars of engagement, and I look forward to leading this effort in some capacity in the days and years ahead. I'm confident that together we possess as Ghanaians the ingenuity and resolve to oversee our economic restoration and the favor of God to guide us on our journey. The limitations in our growth process are inherent in these patterns. Between 2017 and 2019, we averaged GDP growth of 7%, GDP per capita rose by 8%, and gross value add grew by 13%. We, however, experienced a modest 2% improvement in gross capital formation over the same period, reflective of perennial challenges in private sector investment. Indeed, from a global standpoint, our local firms have remained conspicuously unsuccessful, with few being exporters or even possessing the scale to produce beyond the needs of the immediate consumer. This must change from the Gadgetsburg economy to a new AFCFTA era of trade and investment. These challenges reflect a deficient financial infrastructure characterized by a large proportion of MSMEs financing dominated by either bank credit, or mostly bank credit, retained earnings, or informal sources. According to a PwC study, more than 51% of Ghana's overall credit is estimated to be in the short-term range, less than a year, which lags far behind those of developed and emerging countries. Given our economic aspirations, our existing financial infrastructure is not fit for this purpose of the future. While considerable progress has been made in resolving challenges in the banking sector, spending close to 25 billion cedis here, insufficient attention has been placed in the past on laying the foundations for a well-functioning capital market. An essential prerequisite for structural transformation has always been the availability of long-term investment capital for entrepreneurial ventures, productivity-enhancing investment, and asset creation. To create an entrepreneurial state that de-risks innovation and industrialization. At their core, a capital market is simply the part of the financial system concerned with raising capital, long-term capital, by dealing in shares, bonds, derivatives, and other long-term investment. Thus, well-functioning capital markets play an important role in permitting an economy to fully exploit its growth potential as it ensures the best investment opportunities receive the necessary function. This is usually many more times the size of our country's GDP. Undoubtedly, the government envisions the Ghanaian capital market developing into an antidote to existing bank-centric structures where most private sector capital rests within the banking sector. There's an appetite for capital market transactions. Indeed, a seed was sown some 32 years ago on 12 November 1990 when the Ghana Stock Exchange commenced trading with just 9 companies and a market capitalization of, I think it was 3 million cedis there. The managing director of the stock exchange was here. We've all grown a bit of white hair, but we are still here today. Today we have 38 listed companies, a market capitalization of over 57 billion on the equity berth and 143 billion of outstanding securities on the Ghana fixed income market. This is barely together 52% of Ghana's GDP, and we should be multiples of our GDP. The Ghanaian capital market also boasts of a commodities exchange with over 3 million volume of commodities contracts, an asset management industry with 85 fund managers, over 30 billion in assets under management, and a brokerage industry with 20 brokers. Yet we must place these numbers in perspective to understand how far we have to go. The New York Stock Exchange, for instance, lists some 2,800 shares, a transaction volume of approximately $1.5 billion per day, and has a market capitalization of some 26 trillion US dollars. We are not deterred, but rather encouraged at the prospect of transforming Ghana's capital markets into a deep, efficient, diversified, and well-regulated market with a full range of products attractive to domestic and international investors. The Singapore Exchange, for example, was relaunched in 1999 with a market capitalization of 192 billion and 335 companies listed. Through targeted policy reform, the SGX market cap has grown from 192 billion to 1 trillion, with over 40% of issuers based outside of Singapore. The Capital Market Master Plan launch and implementation is timely and welcome intervention in Ghana's financial services sector. As you realize, we're also looking to launch the Development Bank of Ghana, support of the World Bank, support of the EIB, Ghana putting its own $200 million into it to begin to bridge this gap and be able to support venture capitals, banks, and other companies that will lead to the facilitation of this. The key issue here is for Development Bank to be able to raise money in the capital markets itself, and therefore the Capital Market Master Plan comes in handy at this time. Encouragingly, the 4 strategic pillars which underpin the CMMP directly address fundamental concerns regarding transparency and market infrastructure. I envision this will build market understanding and confidence to encourage active participation in the equity market and allow for the inclusion of alternative investment options such as REITs, private funds, asset-backed securities, muni bonds, and derivatives. Undeniably, initiatives under the CMMP will position Ghana's capital market as a ready option to access cheaper and faster capital. The ripple effect of this will be on creating more jobs, higher standards of living, increase in savings and investments, and poverty reduction. Essentially, the distributional effects of this intervention make it easy to justify this government's commitment to reforming the capital markets. The mandate, of course, by hosting the AFCFTA, will encourage us to further promote the commodities exchange, various insurance products, various pension products, and bring Africa to Ghana as the address to be in. With girls' help, a well-executed CMP will positively impact also the individual Ghanaian by challenging the GSE to transform into a key reservoir of patient capital for the young Ghanaian to fund their dreams and ideas, encouraging lending to the most underserved segments of the market, including finding the funding and funding greenfield projects, providing a channel for partnership with large development lenders, such as the Development Bank, as a gateway to MDBs and the European and Asian NDBs by channeling concessional capital through them or by directing funding to viable projects. giving our local champions, our local banks, etc., the impetus to become regional and African players, bringing more jobs and more opportunities to young Ghanaians, and supporting the National Development Agenda and SDGs, Goal 6, clean water and sanitation, by channeling concessional funding and immobilizing domestic private sector. As we all know, we have a huge infrastructure deficit, which cannot really be funded on government's books. We also have a huge housing deficit, which is way beyond what government can do. With this intervention, we'll have access to the appropriate capital to support a revolution in our infrastructure build-up and in our housing build-up. Indeed, the growth stories as shown in countries like Malaysia encourage us to be confident about the future for this program. In truth, I am confident that the CMMP will live up to the high aspirations and expectations that we had set. We had to battle to establish the development bank, which is now likely to take off in July. And we are looking at its impact like KFW and 3I from England after the war. After everything I personally have gone through in the past year, I'm a firm believer in destiny and God's hand. We have the opportunity to finally put in place the requisite infrastructure for the creation of the first group of Ghanaian billionaires and a modern society and a prosperous African nation with the Black Star, and I believe we can do it. Our very own Reverend Obami Tete will testify that truly with God, nothing is impossible. It is upon us to do the hard work of digging down deep and doing the necessary work for us to realize God's grand plans for us. It is He who creates prosperity, but He uses us to effect that. So let us move with courage, not timidity, with power, with love for each other, and with self-discipline, and we will get there. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. If you would kindly stay, we want the DG to join you. We also want Mr. Smith and the rep from the World Bank to join you as you jointly unveil the plan and show us the document. So please go and support them. We are going to have 2 sets. So Honorable Minister and DG will be here. Mr. Smith and Mr. Osman, please go to the other side. We will draw the curtain, unveil the plan. It says, write the vision, make it plain, that he may run who reads it. So it's actually in the form of a book. And as we unveil it, we will show you what it really looks like. I believe there's a drum roll somewhere. Are there explosions? Should we take cover? Okay. Ready, steady. Okay. Yes. The 10-year Capital Markets Master Plan 2020 to 2029 officially launched. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. There are copies for everybody. Thank you very much indeed. Contains all the details of where the capital markets will be in the next 10 years. Launched on this 24th day of May. Minister of Finance Ken Oforiatta, supported by DG Reverend Dr. Obami Tete, and of course Mr. Paul Smith and Mr. Forwan Salim. Thank you very much indeed. Please put your hands together one more time for the SEC and for Minister of Finance. I was wondering why they even wrote a speech for him, because this is the life he lives. And I'm sure if we had woken up and asked him to give a speech about where the capital market should be in the next decade, he would have had a lot to say. But thank you very much for the very exceptional speech. We're distributing copies of the material to you. Please make sure you pick one up before you leave. And those of you who are watching online, we would find a way of sending soft copies to you because we don't have a means of reaching you. Before we take the closing remarks, we want to say a big thank you to the Labadi Beach Hotel. They gave us this venue absolutely free as part of their belief in what is going to happen. Thank you very much indeed. So apart from the food, we are not paying for the venue. They believe in Ghana's future and will give you repeat business, hopefully, SEC. Now, we have two final things to do. We will bring back DG to bring the closing remarks, and then we'll have the vote of thanks. Media people, please wait when we are done. There will be some interviews done here for all the answers you require. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our DG, Reverend Daniel Ogbamitete, again to bring us the closing remarks.
Thank you, Bernard. Well, really, I'm here. I know there's someone to give vote of thanks, but I'm here to personally thank the Honorable Minister of Finance and the entire Finance Ministry for the support they gave us. I'd like to thank the World Bank and then FCDO also for making the funds available. I want to say a big thank you to the working group because I know they put in a lot of energy, a lot of time to put together this document. And I want to say that at the SEC, we are committed to implementation. I know that sometimes implementation is always an issue, but we are committed to implement the plan so that we can really reap the benefits. If you took note of the governance structure that Paul took us through, there will be the working groups, and we'll be drawing on various stakeholders who would help us execute the plan. Because really, the Capital Market Master Plan is not just for the SEC, it's for Ghana. And your presence here, to me, shows that you believe in the plan and you will support it. So we'll be reaching out to various institutions, various stakeholders, and I'm sure once we get the members, we'll put together working groups that will really drive the implementation agenda. So once again, for all of you who have made it to this launch, thank you. I'm so excited, and I look forward to really making this dream, this CMMP, come to pass. So the one to give the vote of thanks, I may have done a bit of your work, but still you can come and do what you have been asked to do. So, Bernard, yeah.
Very much, Reverend. So, right on cue, Mrs. Marianne Efri-Opoku from the SEC. We welcome her to bring us the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard. I know DG has given the vote of thanks, but we want to formally thank you. Honorable Minister of Finance, Honorable Deputy Ministers Designate, Executive Management of the SEC, immediate past commissioners of the SEC, country directors of the World Bank and the FCDO, executives of other financial sector regulators, capital market operators, the media, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good day. You will agree with me that the launch of the 10-year Capital Market Master Plan marks a great milestone, a truly historic event, the very first in our capital market. This has set the tone for further development of a strong capital market. It can only get better from here. I'm honored to be proposing the vote of thanks at this event. It has been quite a journey culminating in this launch, and I'd first of all like to thank the Almighty God for strength and life to have enabled us to prepare and plan and put all of this together. I'd like to thank the Honorable Minister of Finance, Mr. Ken Oforiatta, for the rich keynote address and for launching the plan. Special thanks to members of Parliament present and to all our speakers, in person and virtual. A lot of work and resources have gone into planning and preparing the Capital Market Master Plan. And below are some key partners whose inputs have been invaluable. A big thank you to the World Bank and to the FCDO for providing such strong support and assistance. To the Capital Market Working Group, we say AICO, all the very hard work, long meetings, long hours have been worth it. God bless you. This event would not have been successful if our distinguished invited guests had not accepted our invitation. So please allow me a few moments to make mention of the representatives from the following: the Office of the Vice President, the Ministry of Finance, capital market regulators from Nigeria, Mauritius, and Morocco, other financial sector regulators, Bank of Ghana, NIC, and Office of the Chief Justice and the Judicial Service, the Ghana Police Service, Economic and Organized